Hi, this is Wendy. This is my first YouTube video actually. This also happened very spontaneously, but I think I'm not even gonna waffle around straight into the video, straight into the topic, which is an FAQ on all my travels, or rather all the travels I did this year. Because I got a lot of same questions from different people, and I'm like, I cannot answer the same thing 3 times a day anymore. So I'm just gonna do a video, and I hope you guys will enjoy. To say something in the beginning though, I'm gonna post like a lot more videos, a lot more detailed videos. I'm gonna like mention that throughout the video as well, because I'm just gonna touch everything briefly here because some of the questions are very like big, so I would need to talk a lot about the things that I did, or I would need to explain a lot, so I'll do that in like separate videos. But right now I'm gonna touch on everything a bit and let you know what I'm gonna talk about. So I'm gonna do a little FAQ here with questions that I got on Instagram or WhatsApp or Snapchat or in my personal life, whatever. The first question is, how can you afford traveling at 20 years old? Um, I can afford traveling at 20 years old because I work,
Well, duh.
just like every other person. And the work I did was like, I started working at, I think it was like 16 or 17, I'm not sure. But it was in 12th class. And I started working in the stadium here in my city. And it's like, it's very easy and quick work. So I just did that, like a lot of my friends as well. And then, like, rather than spending it all on like food and all those things, I would just save it or save like the majority of it. Back then, I already knew that I wanted to go traveling, so this is what I did. So I set that as my priority and then just save all the money up. To all my friends that I told that I was broke, I'm sorry, I was not broke. I was broke for that because I had goals. What were you doing? So it depended on where I was, because in some places I did a work and travel, in some places I did a work exchange, in some places I did like nothing. I just like vacation, holiday type vibes. So it depended on where I was. I think I'm gonna do like a video on every place that I was like specifically, to give like more details on how much I spent there, on what I did there, and how you can like do that too, or like the organization kind of things. I will do that separately because that's like a lot. I cannot like put it in here, or else I'll blow this video. Do you go alone? Yes, I went alone on my travels, and all I can say about that is just I might have boarded the plane alone. I might have arrived in the country alone, but I wasn't alone there, you know? If you think of solo traveling, it's not that you solo travel and you're like alone the whole time, cut off of like, society or friendship or anything. It's not like that. So you might go alone, but once you're there, it's very easy to make friends. Like at least for me, it was very easy to make friends because all the people I've met were all alone as well. And so if everyone's alone and everyone's like up to like meet people and down for like, I don't know, talk to people, it's very easy to just like connect. Initially, you all share one interest together, so it's very easy to bond over that like at first. And then you find a lot more things and then just like form normal friendships like you would do at any other city as well. Yes, I went alone, but I wasn't alone. How did you plan everything? So I planned everything. Like I'm a like very organized person when it comes to like my interests, not my room. When it comes to like school and university and those kind of things, then I'm very organized. So I like to like write everything down, illustrate everything, put graphics on there, just like very professionally. Like I like those kind of things because I need to have like an order there. I don't know if you guys know Notability, but I love that app and I use that. I would draw like arrows from country to country, so I would like be able to see if it made sense, like the way I was going or the order in which I was going, distance wise. And then the thing I would do was like writing down all the plane ticket prices and then would look again on a different website. Not every website has the same prices. If you're on a budget like I was, you would need to like dedicate some time to planning all of that. To book all my plane tickets, I think it took me like a week. It takes some time, but it's worth it. To name a few like good websites that I used would be like Skyscanner, like obviously. Then Google Flights is also like pretty good, and Kayak. Those are like the three companies that I love the most, that I use the most. On those three websites, you can choose the whole month to see how the prices are on each day, rather than just like putting in a specific date. So you can be a bit more spontaneous, let the website kind of like plan your dates. And fifth, like how much did everything cost altogether? And I don't really want to answer that because I can't go into detail in this like in this video because it's like a very short one. I will say that my whole trip was very cheap, like for the price that it had. And I will do that like separately. I will do that separately because I was in Europe traveling in some places. I was like a long time in South America just now. Like I just came back like 3 days ago. And it really depends on where you are and what you're doing, you know. I'll do that separately. I'm sorry. I will answer that separately in another video. And if you want to know, you should watch it. I don't know what bullet point is now, but I think it's 6. The question is, how long were you gone? I came back, the first time I went in Portugal was like 2 months, and then there was just like short trips that I did here and there. Like right now, my biggest one that I did solo was 3 months in South America and the US. That was 3 months. No, the 7th bullet point, are you not scared? Oh wait, you're not scared. Actually, no, I wasn't. I think it's also because I felt like very comfortable in the places that I went to. I might not look like intimidating, but like I'm not short, I'm like very tall, so that gave me kind of like I don't know, like a safe feeling. Like in a lot of countries I went to, I would be like the tallest person in the room, so like okay, I'm not a giant, but I'm 178, so in Peru or in Colombia there aren't like, at least where I was, there weren't like a lot of like tall people, so here I'm not sure. And also like an important point to mention that I'm going to dive deeper into when I'm gonna talk about Rio is that I'm black, because like in places like Rio, like which is supposed to be, I think, the most dangerous city in the world, or is it Cape Town? I'm not sure. Anyways, I was there and I spoke the language and I was black, and then I looked like I was from there. So that was like a thing why I wasn't scared at all there. And then overall, I didn't feel a lot of fear. As I mentioned earlier, like I was never alone. Like in Rio, I was never alone. And even if I was in countries like Peru, I know I could like defend myself potentially. I bought like a couple of things that could like come in handy. I bought like a door lock, but what I did bring was like my alarm button. It's like a button thingy that you can like pull a stick out and then it makes like an incredible noise. I'm just gonna blend it in, but it's like, I just had that in my hand at all times. Like it's not big, so I would just like, it's like a key, so I would just like carry it around in my hand in case that would happen something. Also, most things happen at night. Easiest thing, not going out at night, which I did, so I felt safe pretty much like all throughout my journey. And then the last question, if there was like a language barrier, and I will say there wasn't in Brazil because I speak Portuguese, and then English I speak as well. With those 2 languages, I managed to like get by in South America. It would have been good if I knew like a bit of Spanish. Like I know a bit of Spanish that I can understand, but I cannot reply. And then like the whole time it was just like people talking to me in Spanish and I would reply in Portuguese, and we would both like talk very slowly and then we would understand. So that was like, it was manageable. It was pretty funny actually. But that was good for me. Like I think I could go back still without Spanish and would survive. Some places there are no English speakers at all. It's good to know at least some Spanish. Like definitely English in any case. Either Spanish or Portuguese, at least like a bit, like the tiniest bit for you to get by. There's still a lot of things I want to talk about. My time in Rio, my time in Colombia, the money I spend in each city, because I told you I was gonna dive into that more. I also did some like vlogging videos. I think I'm gonna post a video like every week. This is just the start. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.